Hey friends, ZenKahuna here. First of all, I just want you to take a look at that rock and that tree. I mean, that's beautiful, isn't it? I just love how that looks. So I'm going to read a poem for you right here. And here I am. All right. So, Robert Service, of course, is the poet that I'm going to be reading. By the way, this is a company called Ready Wares Supply Company. They make all kinds of great bags. And I like the zippers. I like the feel of the canvas. It's a great one for protecting my book because I carry my Robert Service book with me most everywhere I go. It's almost always in my car. Today I'm going to read you a poem called Young Fellow, My Lad. Young fellow, my lad. I want to give you some background as I usually do. This was World War I when he was writing this. And I don't know how many of you these days know, but World War I was, it was rugged. The war there in Europe was just trench warfare, mud and muck. It was before the time of antibiotics and so on and so forth. And so there was all kinds of disease and trench foot and just miserable. And poison gases were being used, machine guns, the early tanks and so on and so forth, barbed wire, just tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of men lost in a single battle. I mean, it was just terrible. So now you understand I'm a veteran. I did 3 combat tours in Vietnam. So am I against war? By and large, I think if we can settle things without going to war, that's the best bet. But if you can't, hey, it's wonderful having men at arms and women at arms these days too. Excellent. So this is written by a father about a son. Where are you going, young fellow, my lad, on this glittering morn of May? I'm going to join the colors, Dad. They're looking for men, they say. But you're only a boy, young fellow, my lad. You aren't obliged to go. I'm 17 and a quarter, Dad, and ever so strong, you know. So you're off to France, young fellow, my lad, and you're looking so fit and bright. I'm terribly sorry to leave you, Dad, but I feel that I'm doing right. God bless you and keep you, young fellow, my lad. You all my life, you know. Don't worry, I'll soon be back, dear Dad, and I'm awfully proud to go. Why don't you write, young fellow, my lad? I watch for the post each day, and I miss you so, and I'm awfully sad, and it's months since you went away. And I've had the fire lit in the parlor, and I'm keeping it burning bright, till my boy comes home, and here I sit into the quiet night. What is the matter, young fellow, my lad? No letter again today? Why did the postman look so sad and sigh as he turned away? I hear them tell that we've gained new ground, but a terrible price we've paid. God grant, my boy, that you're safe and sound, but oh, I'm afraid. They've told me the truth, young fellow, my lad. You'll never come back again. Oh, God! The dreams and the dreams I had, and the hopes I've nursed in vain, for you passed in the night, young fellow, my lad, and you proved in the cruel test of the screaming shell and the battle hell that my boy was one of the best. So you'll live, young fellow, my lad, in the gleam of the evening star, in the wood note wild and the laugh of the child, in all sweet things that are, and you'll never die, my wonderful boy, while life is noble and true. For all our beauty and hope and joy, we will owe to our lads like you. Hadn't read that one for a while. And as you can see and hear, it brings tears almost every time. I was 17 when I joined the Marine Corps, just like that kid. And I read that poem. I knew that I might die. But you know, a lot of people were against the war. And I didn't care about the war. I didn't care whether it was a just war or fair war or whatever. It was the war that we had. And my grandfather had been a soldier. My mother and my father were both in the Navy. My uncles were in the Navy or the Marine Corps. But my mom hoped for better things for me, that, you know, go to college and all that kind of jazz, which I eventually did. But I know, and I knew then, that I needed to go into the fire and that hell that is war to test my mettle and to refine it, to burn off the slag. And so that's what I did. Now, did I ever come close to getting killed? Yeah, quite a few times actually. But I survived. Did I come back with PTSD? Yeah, I did. And did it take me years to get over it? Well, it took me years before I found out that I was so crazy. I didn't realize that I was crazy because I had PTSD. I didn't realize I was suffering from traumatic stress. So, yeah, it was difficult. But you know what? Every aspect has made me a stronger individual, more resilient, more self-reliant. It's wonderful. I'm proud to be a veteran. And by the way, did I like the Marine Corps? I hated the Marine Corps. Vietnam was quite an adventure, but it was being in the Marine Corps that was tough. I mean, you know, there's a lot of nonsense in any military branch, but fortunately, I decided I'd just keep living in Vietnam and fighting in Vietnam until they finally gave me my discharge, and that's exactly what I did. So I go on about this for a while because I want you to understand something. You know, if you're a veteran, or if you're in the service now, or you know someone who is, you want to remember, it's true, you're never quite the same when you come back. But why would you want to be the same? Let's live an evolutionary lifestyle. Let's live courageously. Let's live boldly. Let's do whatever needs to be done. And let's do that every single day. Let's make each individual life one that's worth living. That's what I promised myself when I was in Vietnam, that when I got back to the world, that's what we used to call it, getting back to America was getting back to the world. When I got back to the world, I was going to make my life in exactly the pattern that I wanted. And that's what I did. It took me a few years. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And so now for 46 years, I've been a natural healer, and it's been a wonderful profession. I created it. I put it together. I made it the way I wanted it. And that's what I'm inviting all of you to do. All of you need to go to war within yourselves and find that strength, the guts, the gusto, and the gumption to live your life the way you want to live it. And do that every single day. Let nothing stand in your way. Be relentless. And remember, as ZenKahuna always says, make it fun.